What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us, 865-658-5824. Joined alongside Tim, live in Green Bay. We got Emilio in Tennessee here for a little Victory Monday talk about the Packers' big win over the Arizona Cardinals. Before we Thank you, Ja. Before we jump into it, let's give a quick shout out to the good folks over at Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Guys, they've been Wisconsin-based since 1992. They specialize in Packers tickets, got Wisconsin's largest ticket source. They got offices next to Lambeau and in Milwaukee for your convenience, or you can just shop from home and go to theticketking.com and register for free as a customer. Go ahead and start shopping for those Packers tickets. Again, that's Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. So, like I said, Victory Monday edition, guys. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a little mini party, a little extension of the post-game show from last night, which, by the way, great feedback on the post-game show. Appreciate everybody and the kind words. It's really cool to see everything booming right now with the channel and the podcast. Everything's just growing like a weed, and we can't thank y'all enough for being a part of it. I know we got a bunch of people already in the chat in here, man. Too many to mention. Everybody, I see Mr. Larry. We're going to call him out. And United Bates, a couple of the old school ones. We got Dennis Shook in here. So I'm telling him what he's in the chat saying right now. Coach Lynn in the house. We got Prince, Mike Perry, John Schmidt, Chris N. Everybody in here. Emilio, if you'll keep an eye, both you and Tim, keep an eye on the chat. If there's something there that we can hit on, let me know for sure. So let's get this party started here, man. This is kind of a tradition when we do Victory Monday. If it's available, we like to hear what Coach LaFleur had to say in the locker room last night immediately following the dub. Thought this was great energy as the Packers tweeted out, said it's always about the ball, right? Here we go. Here's Coach LaFleur, also known as Tupac LaFleur, in the locker room after that big win against the Cardinals.
What we talked about all week, complimentary football, 4 quarters, from start to finish, man. Give it up for yourself. It's always about the ball. We finished +2 today. We had KB with the forced fumble. Evan Williams with the forced fumble. John Money with the recovery. KB with the recovery. And then Kenny Clark with the recovery. How about K9 setting up a touchdown? Hell of a job, K9. How about our offensive line paving the way? 38 carries, 179 yards. How about my man Jay Love was 22 of 32, 258. Christian Watson with the touchdown. Jay Reed with the touchdown. How about this guy coming back? Romeo Doubs with 2. That was a great team win.
Let's go back on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just here to tell you, Pack is back.
You heard it from a fan right here.
It doesn't get any better, Victory Monday. Listen, we've had a chance to kind of sleep on it, guys. What's the first thing that comes to mind? I'll start with you, Tim, after the big dub there. I know mine, obviously, Romeo Doubs. I'm still just, as Jacob would say, grinning like a possum in a dumpster, right? I absolutely love the fact that he got all the love from the teammates, coaching staff. I know there are some people that still believe that that wasn't the case. It is what it is. I mean, they were talking about how he and Coach LaFleur kind of embraced after the game, and it was cool to hear Doubs kind of talk about it too on the surface, just going, hey, look, it's all about ball. It's all about the team. I don't think there's any more friction there. There's a lot of people that disagree, but those are the same people that were trying to rake Romeo Doubs over the coals last week. Tim, how do you feel right here, man, about this game coming out of this win out of Lambeau against Arizona, man?
Yeah, definitely. On the offensive side of the ball, that was my big takeaway, man, is not only the way Rome played. Rome played a Romeo Doubs type of game, right? Mr. Reliable, running good routes, making plays for his team. And there's, friction is non-existent. You can see that there's tape evidence of this in this game, pre-game, post-game, during the game. This team embraces Romeo. There's no bad blood in that locker room. There's no animosity. You can tell this team is coming together more and more every week. And honestly, I'm happy for Rome. I had a feeling he was going to have himself a ball game. And, the stat nerds won't like the numbers or whatever. But, hey, man, 2 tutters. Great in the run blocking schemes, too. Rome had a couple of key blocks in the run game that helped us. And just thought it was a great team win overall. But definitely happy for Romeo Doubs. Whatever he's going through in his personal life, this type of stuff is going to help him as he deals with it. You got a team that supports you. You want to get a vibe check on that wide receiver room, play back the Romeo Doubs touchdowns, and watch that team celebrate with their guy. I still believe Rome is a leader. He's just got his own style of leadership. And I had said this before. I'll say it again. He's coming out of this suspension better as a player, better as a person, made comments about communicating better, things like that. So, hey, mistakes are only bad if you don't learn from them. And clearly Rome learned from this little episode with the no call, no show. And we're moving forward, man. That's my biggest takeaway. This team is united. And you could see the reaction there at the end when Coach LaFleur read off Rome's numbers. And that team loves him. And I'm glad he's a Packer. Certainly not a coward in my book. Just put it that
You had to throw that in there. I like it.
You saw the way X was screaming. He was saying, "Yeah, like come on now, you get behind your guy." So I think that Rome's crushed it. Tim was saying it the whole time. I think Romeo's going to have a game, and man, I'm glad he did because you just see that kind of love and team commitment. It was a mistake, couple days. All right, I messed up. You had a bad week, so let's just put it behind us. I mean, you get 52 of them a year. You get 17 of them with a regular season game. So let's just make the most out of it. All right. And I'm happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, man, Victory Mondays are always the best. 2-0 for this agrees, saying Victory Mondays are always the best, no doubt about it. Mike Hayes in the chat said, you guys give some of the realest content. Always love your views. Hey, we appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for swinging through, man.
Thank you.
That means a lot. And it really does. Like, I hear some people do shows and stuff, and it's hey, we're going to do what we want to do, and the hell with the fans. And what we wanted this to be, and one of the reasons it's called Packer Fan Total Access, is all the fans coming together and talking about the game and doing it in a respectful manner, obviously. So we're always going to say what we see, right? If you see it, you got to say it. What happened? Why did it happen? Whether it goes with my personal opinions or it doesn't. Same with Tim, same with Emilio. But we really appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much, man. You're always welcome here, bro. Coach Lynn says run game was on point yesterday. Coach, was it ever? And what's crazy is, like, you look at the yards per carry, like for Josh Jacobs and stuff, and there were several times that you seen they were really loading that box and trying to shut down the run. And, of course, every time it happened, it seemed like the passing game kicked open as well. But I'm with you, Coach. It was just one of those grind them out games. And going back and watching, I made my third pass through the tape today, and we got Chalk Talk cut up. I just got to go through and label all the plays and dissect it and everything. But we came away with 13 plays is what we ended up with. And, man, they're a blast. And I'll tell you, one of the first play on Chalk Talk, 1st and 10, first quarter with 11:26 left, was a 14-yard run by Josh Jacobs. Nothing fancy, right up the gut. I'm telling you, it really set the tone. And you leaned on that run early while that rain was really pouring down. Then once the skies opened up, hey, let's go ahead and start shooting the pill around the yard, right? And that's exactly what happens. So
that run game was taking off, man. What, they had almost 180 yards. So that's big. Keep us moving, and it's what's going to win us games late in the season. The fact that we're doing it now, you got a little test of it, like you said, in the rain. It's big.
Yeah, definitely. Dennis Shook with the super chat. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, Goots 2024 draft is insane. Heck, all of the offseason. Amen. It really, it's kind of bittersweet because you could see this is what happens when you have a true post safety, right? And it looks like we've got two, to be honest, hell, possibly three. Now, And it's the reason that I always list the post safety. What I mean by post safety is when you're in cover 1 or you're in cover 3, it's that guy that predominantly plays center field for you. And that's what X is. However, they've got so much faith in both Javon Bullard and Evan Williams. They're really moving X around too. So you kind of got multiples that can do that. It's a tier 2 position of importance for me, man. Again, tier 1 on defense, edge defender, 3 tech, which is defensive tackle. And then tier 2 is mock linebacker and post safety. We might have our mock too, boys. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you guys some stuff here in a little bit. Actually, we might just do it right now. Let's do it before we're going to get into the PFF grades and all that stuff too. But I agree with you, Dennis. Thank you for the super chat. Heck of an off season for Goody for sure. So when I say we might have our future mock, I'm going to show you a couple things here. Okay. First of all, watch Edgerrin Cooper here. This is just a 1-yard gain. You're going to see him shoot the gap. All right. You see him right here in the middle, playing right in the middle of the defense. Notice that Quay is on the weak side of the formation, so he's playing Will right there. Watch Coop get in there. No hesitation. Bang. Didn't get tricked by that little outside cut. Run stuff, right? Moving on to the next play.
And I love that he was already stepping that way with the running back in the sidecar left. He knew 80% chances going right.
Definitely. And then you've got this is a short pass to Connor, right? James Connor for 4 yards. But watch Coop on this play. You see him again right here. Okay. And in this situation here, it looks like he's actually playing Will, right? Here's your tight end. That would make Quay the mock. And that's what we're talking about. They're very interchangeable, right? Now watch Coop. Get back. All right. Read it. Bang. Great tackle, right? It's just to me, the game doesn't look too big for him. Right, it's really exciting. That was a couple kind of what we would call stops. Right, you stopped the play, whether it was a run or a pass. You kind of got up there and made the tackle. Now check this out. This is what I mean by a true mock. All right, and it's kind of hard to see from the sideline, but it's the best view to get it with. So what I want you to key in on is notice that he's already mugging the A gap. And we talked about this. We got this question, I think, from Carly, where we were talking about sugar spine and stuff. He did it all day long with Kyler. And it was hilarious because usually a spy will drop back 1.5 yards, 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. He was staying right at the line of scrimmage like, I dare you, boy. Tuck that ball and run, I dare you. But right here you see him mugging and Quay's playing off, right? They're disguising. They're showing a little sugar. Now Quay comes up. Quay's actually blitzing. Now look at – you see Cooper flip his hips? He's playing Tampa 2. Watch him pick up the 3 here from across the formation. See where his eyes are, right? He's on the 3. And look at this, stride for stride, right down the seam. No problem, right? And that's the play where Gary hustled all the way across the formation and caused the pressure on our boy Kyler Murray. So, again, those are the things that I'm noticing with Coop. This is a great view right here from the box cam. Check this out, the end zone cam. Look at him get back, eyes on his work. You see Quay bust through right here. Now look at Gary, relentless, all the way across the formation, That's what causes the incompletion. So, again, when it comes to Edgerrin Cooper, what you're seeing with him, not only can he play the run, obviously he's got the athleticism. We've seen that he can scrape on the blitz, but, man, he can cover the seam too, Tim. We might have our guy, bro. We might.
Here's the guy.
This might possibly free up Quay, too, to think a little less and them kind of play off each other. I hope that's the case, really.
I agree. And, add Edgerrin Cooper to the list of rookies that aren't playing like rookies on this team. I mean, you talk about Goody cooking in this draft. We brought us some players in, some day one guys, showed up ready to go. And Cooper's one of them guys who just, I don't know, man, he looks better each and every week. I don't know what the snap counts are at. I want to say he was close to 40 this week. We kind of had our own little side predictions on would he crack 30, 35 snaps. I think he did this week. Don't quote me on that. But the more he plays, the better he looks. The same is true with Evan Williams, like we said on the back end there. But when I talk about not playing like a rookie, that first one you ran there, if he makes a mistake and bites and then rushes on that play and doesn't recover out into that Tampa 2 coverage, man, we're smoked on a play like that. And those are the type of mistakes that rookies are known to make, And Cooper just looks like a guy that a natural linebacker, right? Like, is there anywhere else you would see that guy playing other than where he is on this field? I mean, natural middle linebacker. We talked about his FBI in the preseason. Matt LaFleur was extremely impressed with him, with what little we got to see from him really during training camp, kind of having an abbreviated training camp with some of the injury issues. But man, he's healthy now, and we got him right when we need him the most, and things are starting to click there. And I agree, Clayton. I think this is going to do wonders for Quay Walker. It's going to showcase some of his versatility, get him in some of those sets where he's not the Mike, and can utilize the pass rush as well as his ability in coverage. When you got a guy like Edgerrin Cooper coming up in the wings, and we haven't even scratched the surface on Tyron Hopper, another really young, talented linebacker that we got back there. So the future looks bright in the linebacker room. I think we all as fans just need to be a little patient and let these guys grow and grow together. We'll see what happens, but I'm excited about Coop for sure.
Yeah, since you mentioned Tyron Hopper, these are the special team snaps, 15 special team snaps. So pretty cool to see Hopper contributing there. Now, you were asking about the snap count for our boy Edgerrin Cooper, 38 this week. So what is that? It's either 7 or 3 more. Which one was it? Do you remember last week, Emilio, how many snaps he had?
I think we were here at about 30 last week.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think he went up. But what caught my eye is also he's 38 with Evan Williams. I think that's key. I think that set where they bring Evan in is where they bring in Coop, more like the nickel look. But I hadn't really combed through that much, but that's where I kind of saw it. I saw that we were sitting in our 4-3 a lot at the beginning of the game, with Eric Wilson and McDuffie in there, and then kind of got away from it. But those two on there together, that's crazy that you have that much trust. But, I mean, we did it with our offense. Just throw the rookies out there and see how they do. And it's paying off for us.
Dennis Shook with the super chat. Sorry, I missed it when we were showing the film there. He said, was that Preston Smith in coverage? Free Joe Barry. So, yeah.
I think you meant fire Joe Barry.
Yeah, I'll tell you, either way it works for me. But last year we seen it. We seen Preston and Gary dropping the coverage. And what are we doing? And it was like the first game of the season this year. We seen both defensive tackles dropping the coverage against the Eagles. I was thinking, why ain't anybody saying anything? What's going on here?
Maybe we could play footage from the other 31 teams in the league that do the same thing too,
over and over and over again. But. So obviously here with the snap count, Keyshawn Nixon, Xavier McKinney, Quay Walker played every single defensive snap. Javon Bullard played 54 snaps, 93% of the snaps. Jair Alexander played 79% of the snaps. Kenny Clark got 76. Evan Williams only 66%. And look at the impact he made, man. That is just wild to think about. He also played 11 snaps on special teams as well. Edgerrin Cooper, 66% of the snaps, as well as Rashawn Gary. Preston Smith, 52% of the snaps. Carl Brooks, 50% of the snaps. So he got 29 total. That's awesome to see Carl getting more and more snaps. Obviously, he scored real high on PFF. We'll talk about that here shortly. It's just interesting to see kind of who got the most snaps. You see Eric Stokes down to 28%, which was 16 snaps. So that's kind of how that's shaking out there. The big thing, too, is, again, the big one that sticks out to me, guys, is Jeff Hafley absolutely loves Keyshawn Nixon, and I think he's playing pretty good ball, man.
Right, Keyshawn's locked down that outside spot basically now, or at least on the field at all times, and then dependent. So that's when Eric Stokes will come out and cover. But I feel bad for Stokes. I thought he did decent for a second there when he was up against Marvin Harrison. Then it's like boom, he's off the field, and that whole time Keyshawn's been on there grinding. So that's tough.
Jen Wright said X mocked up was great too. I haven't seen that yet. Have you guys seen that as Xavier McKinney mocked up?
Not yet. I haven't seen it.
Well, I bet that is
gem.
Carl K says lots of good work by the PTA team. Appreciate you, sir. 2-0 for this says someone get Emilio a cannoli in.
Please.
That ain't no problem. Well,
Harry Cheese says I actually heard people complaining about Love's play this game. Ridiculous. Oh man, Harry. I was telling the guys, I'm losing my mind. Like we win by, what was the score again?
34-14.
34-13.
34-13.
And it's like people immediately, well, this went wrong. That was like, what are we doing? We were 5.5 point favorites.
Newsflash, things go wrong every single game for every single team. It's part of football. We
covered the spread by like 3 times the amount. What are you expecting?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to Harry Cheese is with me here. He's going, why? What are we complaining about? Even the interception that Love threw, Bo Melton slipped. What do you want him to do there, right? And I got to be real with you guys. Nostalgia overload. When Love dropped that pass in the bucket in front of 13 defenders, I know there's only 11 on the field, but it felt like 13 defenders. I immediately went
over the middle.
Yes,
over the middle, dropping it in the bucket.
Woo. I was just like, I'm digging this. I can't believe I'm saying what I'm saying, but I'm digging this, man. This is a lot of fun. Watching this dude just go out there, just the absolutely chuck and duck to Romeo Doubs. And it's just like, as soon as he threw it, I went, it's one-on-one. Knock it down if you have to, Dobby. And Dobby just fading back, grabbing the pass, getting it inside the pie. This is a blast.
That was a net throw.
If you're not having fun,
yeah.
If you're not having fun watching this team play, man, you need to take a laxative or something, bro. You're all bound up. You gotta let it go.
You heard it from a fan right here.
Because there's gonna be games this year, I promise you, where we go, man, they played like horse crap. There's gonna be those games.
Mm-hmm.
Why not enjoy these when you're winning by double digits? I just don't get it. I don't get it, man.
I love it, man. That's trusting your teammate, right? He knew Doubs was in single coverage, no help over the top, pressure in his face. You got three options, right? Chuck it up to your homie on along the sideline and let him make a play. You take a sack, which is stupid, or you throw the ball out of bounds. And we got a gamer. I really feel like he's like a hybrid of Favre and Rodgers. I really feel like it. He's got that heart of Brett Favre, man. I'm going to try and win this game with one throw if I can. And man, it makes you a little nervous as a fan, but God, you got to love it. It's fun to watch.
You think God never farted?
That's right. I still think it was a great ball, man. That was nose down, diving right at the front pylon. That's exactly where you want that throw.
Mm-hmm.
It made chalk talk. It was a dandy. It was just the way he chucked it up too, and people were going, man, he just lobbed it up. You put a little air under that for Romeo Doubs. Again, worst case scenario, I think that falls incomplete. And the only bad part about it, and we'll talk about it on Chalk Talk, he had Christian Watson running butt naked through the trailer park on a shallow cross, but he drops back, and before he even gets to Watson, he's got the guy in his face. So it's just fade away. And I think it was supposed to be one of those kind of, let me put it out there where my guy can get it or it falls incomplete. Maybe put a little too much air under it. But nonetheless, man, it's touchdown. It was a blast, man. I came up off the couch for that one. Ari Iron Miner says, I'm with Rome. Let's see here. Jen Wright, Scoot, and Dobbs made my heart melt. The whole team, you could just see, and like Tim pointed out in that locker room video, they absolutely adore this dude. And I'm telling you, that's why I want to say this. People were ragging on Bill Huber, all right? I don't think anyone should rag on Bill Huber, right? Like, he reported what he heard. Guys, it may have been true. It might not have been the only thing that was going on, right? But to me, after all the smoke is settled, the way it feels to me is Dobbs had some personal stuff going on. He no-called, no-showed, which I don't care what the issue is. You can't do that. And you have to suspend him for that.
Yep.
Right? And it's amazing how, and this, I'm not talking about Bill Huber. Bill Huber didn't. I didn't hear Bill Huber do this. I'm talking about other people that covered it throughout the week. They still haven't mentioned what Romeo Doubs, the comment he made about his family. They haven't even mentioned it.
Yep.
And that's like the most.
I heard it. You heard it, right?
Yeah, that's the most.
He's a soft-spoken dude. You had to kind of actually listen to him talk, but he did slide that in and give us some info that, he made a comment paraphrasing that he was trying to keep his family together or get the family together. Yeah. Hey, man, you got to respect that.
And you don't know what people are going through. And again, it doesn't mean you don't suspend them. I understand that. You got to suspend them. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of bothered me. I'm with you though, Jen. That was an awesome moment. That's the type of stuff that brings the team together and special things happen in the season. Mm-hmm. Harry Cheese says Romeo equals quiet killer. He had that serial killer look in that game. That's the other thing. I've heard people complaining about he doesn't show emotion. He doesn't show he's happy. You need to show that you're happy.
What? Everybody's different, man.
Bro, go watch me play high school baseball. I looked like I was the most angry human being on the face of the earth.
And you were having the time of your life, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's everybody responds differently. to say this. So you want all of them to walk around like they're happy. All right, here we go. We're all like, dude, you're in the heat of the battle. Like you're out there trying to make a play. You just dealt with one of the roughest weeks of your life. And what I hear when I hear people say that is, I want you to fake this. I want you to fake it. Don't be yourself. Go out there and act like something you're not to make me happy. I'm sorry, man. I just can't. I can't get on board with that.
And he does that. He does from time to time. He expresses himself. I mean, we saw on the Tutter with Scoot, they had their little celebratory dance they did
and you
together.
see Jordan doing it too.
Yeah, these guys have that, and Rome will crack a smile. You see it from time to time, and laugh and things like that. He's just not a super outgoing, demonstrative personality. Like I said, I made the comparison with Jair. Like, you're not gonna have a team full of Jairs, and you're not gonna have a team full of Romes. You're gonna have, a mix of all these personas and personalities, and there really isn't. There's nothing wrong with it. I kind of like it. He's like the silent assassin out there, and it's like, the great Vince Lombardi said, right? Act like you've been there before. That's Rome on every touchdown. You see him just turn and hand the ball to the ref. Another day at the office. I love it. I really respect that, and I wish people would stop criticizing him for being himself. I think it's great to see out there, and a lot of respect for Romeo Doubs.
Right. We love Truck because he's vocal, but we can't love Romeo because he's quiet.
Right. Yeah, and I
Amen.
relate to Romeo more than anybody else. Like, I get that. I get like when he caught. That's the other thing too. Like, one of my favorite players of all time. I'm going to lose my Packer fan card here. One of my favorite players of all time was Barry Sanders. And I'm telling you, to this day, it's my favorite celebration. How he would make all 11 guys miss on the field, scamper for a touchdown, hand the ball to the official, and go to the sideline. And I'm telling you, the guys on the other team are going, dang, this dude, he's going to come back and do it again. Like, this, go to him.
Please,
and when you see Doubs do that, it's more impressive in today's game, where you've got coordinated celebrations and all the hoopla and fanfare that our game has become now, which I think is good. Don't get me wrong, but it is kind of refreshing, right, to see a young, year 3 player that's just a total pro out there. And I don't know. I respect it. You took the words out of my mouth, Clayton. I was thinking Barry Sanders all the way. That's a definite comparison when you talk about how they are on the field, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Greg Ross says, a coward. Did someone call him that? Yes, they did. And everybody has been DMing me going, say who it was, Clayton, say who it was. I know I'm not the only person that heard it. And listen, I'm not out here to call people out and be like, hey,
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
That's right, Coach Saban. I'm not getting on Twitter to try to cause a big fight. All I want to do is put a tweet out there to let that person know, listen, we heard what you said, and you damn well know you wouldn't say it to his face. And now that all of a sudden the teams rallied around him, the coaching staffs rallied around him, they absolutely love that dude. You heard what Coach Steno said last week. He was all, I can't wait to get Rome back out there. There's no reason to mention in the name. I guarantee you other people heard it. Yeah. Anyway, the point of that tweet, and it ran, it's up to almost 300,000 views now. Good. I want every Packer fan to see it, because that's not cool. It's not. Playing that internet tough guy stuff and hiding behind a microphone and calling someone a coward. You call another grown man a coward on a microphone. I would pay top dollar to go, hey, let's get them face to face. Call him a coward. I would love to see it. A kid that grew up in South Central Los Angeles and didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and they've had to struggle their entire life. And a guy that had a panic attack at the combine and literally missed the combine because he locked himself in his hotel room. You don't know what his childhood was like. You don't know anything. I'm trying not to get emotional, but like, you don't know anything about this dude. And you're going to get on a microphone with your scruffy neck beard, acting like you're more important than everybody else. Yep. And you're going to get on here and say, he's a coward. Right. We know who
all those things you mentioned, and he still made it to the NFL, and he's improving every year that he's played in the NFL. Yeah, you don't get to where Romeo Doubs got to at this point in his life if you're a coward. Coward would have been a guy that we would have never heard of Romeo Doubs. If he
would have quit. It would have quit JV football, Tim.
Exactly. So you're telling the truth, Clayton. I'm with you 100%.
I'm not going to mention the name. I just wonder if he's got the huevos to stand up and go, hey, guys, I was wrong on that. I guarantee you don't.
I'm not holding my breath. I don't know.
Anyway, enough of that. It's Victory Monday. What the heck am I doing over here? United
We're
Bait.
gonna give him some.
United Bait says we all need a hug like those Dobbs hugs. Doesn't matter how tough you are. The team is ascending. Rome. What I like this. Rome wasn't the day. That's man.
Bates with the comment of the night so far.
And by the way, that's Bates. That's ex-military. Just so y'all know, that's a guy who's
There's no such thing as a former Marine.
Right. Exactly. It cracks me up that again, if you have to act like a tough guy on the internet, you're not a tough guy. Tough guys don't hang out on the internet. I promise you that, man. They're not sitting around going, "Let me show y'all how tough I am." It just doesn't happen. Jen Wright, Brooks impressed. Yes, he did. PFF loved him. We're going to talk about those PFF grades here shortly for sure. Let's see. I think we got a couple super chats here. All right. Jason Wise says, "Thank you for the super chat, Jason. Appreciate you, buddy." He says, "We have the best wide receiver, running back, and safety rooms in the league." I can't argue with you there, man. All, from top to bottom. And I think Jaden Reed's grading out as the 18th best wide receiver in the league right now. And that's just PFF. It doesn't even mean that he's that low. But, yeah, I would put our receiving core up against anybody, especially when you've got 87 and 9 on the field. You talk about – and that's the thing that I noticed about the tape too. It felt like they were really trying to take Jaden Reed out of the game plan, although he still got 6 targets, 6 catches. He didn't have a whole lot of yards, but what did it do? It opened it up for Scoot. Well, now that's on tape. Yeah. And by the way, they drew that play up on the sideline. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur drew that up on the sideline. It wasn't even in the game plan this week. They had called it earlier in the year. So they seen something that Buddha was doing. That was Buddha Baker. That dude is been one of the top safeties in the league for.
We cooked him all day.
Yeah.
And we cooked Murphy Bunting too, to the point where. I don't want to joke about someone getting hurt, but I noticed that a neck injury popped up and he didn't finish the game. Hopefully he's okay, but it also could be a veteran tactic to avoid further embarrassment as you're getting cooked by this Green Bay receiver core.
And that's probably why those routes look so weird. Like they weren't digs, they weren't really posts. It was kind of like two climb trails, and then the over the top post. And it just bit like nothing, man. And Christian Watson has that speed. We knew it. And like we said, Matt made the adjustment. I'm happy that it happened, during the game. Let's go. You got to be able to do that. If you see something, trust what the players are seeing. They're out there. Matt's on the sideline. You got to trust who's on the field.
Yeah, I swear, I think what they were doing there, when I hear Matt or I hear other people talk about Matt drew that play up on the sideline, I try to reverse engineer and go, okay, what was the original play call? I think it was dagger. But instead of a dig, so you had Christian Watson was supposed to run a go,
right?
And you had the dig underneath, so it was kind of digs,
double, yeah.
Is a dagger or a double digs with a slot go essentially, and like you said, there's choice aspects too. So they're reading the depth of the backers, and that's why it kind of turned into that double cross or follow, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what they changed up was, hey, if you bend out just a touch, Christian, why don't you just run a post right there? Give us a post, and you got Buddha on an island, cook him.
Yeah, he's not going to cross your hips. Like we saw it in the next gen. The dude got within maybe a yard at the closest, and then it was 4 or 5 yards of separation, no problem.
Yeah, and the way Christian Watson handled himself all week long, oh man, that dude is the way he rallied around Rome, and he's become a leader. He has. And
how about the way he came back so quickly from that high ankle sprain? You talk about a guy, everybody, they wanted to call him Glass forever, and he came back and played. I was surprised, man. That was awesome.
That was an interesting exchange too, man, with the high ankle, right? His dad got on Twitter and was like, that's not a high ankle. And that Twitter doctor was like, yes, it is, Tazim. It wasn't his name. He's like, what? So you're telling me you understand my son's injury more than I do? What are we?
If you guys follow Papa Scoot at all on Twitter, he will regulate real quick on anybody talking anything crazy. Papa Scoot is going to dead that right away. I love it.
Yeah, and he's straightforward. I've never had a problem with him. There's some guys are like, I don't like the way he handles himself on Twitter and this. And it's like, why don't you quit dogging his son? Go back, see the original comments. If you wouldn't say it to their face, don't say it on Twitter. Maybe he wouldn't
wake up, people. To them, they're athletes and players. To family, that's his son. that's his child. He's a father first, right? I mean, you're going to defend your own.
Absolutely. Dennis Shook in the chat. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. Says Clayton got me amped up right now. So Dennis, sorry about it. It'll subside here in a second. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. Romero, good to see you in there, buddy. Says Clayton got that dog in him tonight, metal yellow. All right. Yeah, I get okay. Yeah, see, he got that's how you know.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So.
Need a pep talk, call Clayton.
Fred McFarley said Clayton warming all our piss. That sounds kind of bad. To be honest with you. And Artie Ironmeyer said that's right. Okay, Clater. Hey, I like it. We'll take it. Mater, Clater, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I don't mean to get so dramatic. It just that stuff drives me. Anyway. It's funny, right before we went live, I'm like, it's Victory Monday, baby. Listen, positive, upbeat. We're going to talk about the positives that happen in the game. I get on here and go on a rant like a moron. That's why this show sucks. Coach Lynn says this team is special. I see it 100. I agree, man. It definitely feels different from think back to 2020 and 2021 when they won 13 games. This feels different.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. It really does. So
it does.
Kind of has more of a 2009, 2010 feel to me, but I'm just saying.
Seeing relationships build, trust being built, it's all kind of working its magic behind the scenes.
Yep. I didn't know this. Ron Sample says Hopper 3 tackles on teams yesterday. That's absolutely awesome.
Love it.
It's a big stat there. Dennis Shook. No more rocket balls, please. Talking about love earlier. Andrew James in the chat says traveling from Los Angeles for the game this week. Packers going to be 5-2. Let's go.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. Safe travels, buddy. Enjoy Lambeau. You go into the wideout game. This is the one we earmarked. I think Tom Brady's calling this game too, so it's like the Fox game of the week. Houston Texans coming to Lambeau. The battle of two really good young quarterbacks.
Possible Super Bowl preview.
The all whites too, with the white helmets and the white. Ooh.
This is going to be a great test too. Like this is a good measuring stick game. Right. Let's see how the Packers. We seen they lost to the Vikings by 2 points. The Vikings are still undefeated in the league, so that's a good test there. This is going to be a great kind of cross AFC test and see how well they play because they're going to come to play, man. There's no two ways about it. Their defense is very similar to ours with the way D'Amico Ryans calls a game. They got great edge rushers as long as everybody's healthy. I haven't dove into their injuries much. Obviously, C.J. Stroud is an absolute dog. They've got a lot of things that they do well. I'm on puppy patrol tonight, so if you guys hear them bark, I apologize. My brother's dog getting in the chair right now. Let me get up here and get comfortable. This idiot's going to talk football for hours. But, yeah, it's going to be a great game, man. Congratulations there, buddy. Like I said, safe travels, man. Thanks for coming across the country and supporting the Pack. Dan Lang said the energy in the stadium when 87 scored was outstanding. That first touchdown happened in front of us and was just unbelievable athleticism. So there you hear what it was like in the stadium from Mr. Dan. I bet it was absolutely awesome, man. J. Cole says he's an introvert. There's nothing wrong with that. Amen. We need people like that in the world too, right? Yep. We need the Matt Ramages. Don't get me wrong. Those dudes that'll keep you laughing and they're outgoing and they're the life of the party, right?
Yep.
But you need those introverts too, for sure. Mandy refers to, I'm an introvert, whether you guys believe it or not. Mandy always refers to me as the stick in the mud, but Emilio, she's the life of the party, is she not?
Oh, 100%.
She keeps everything going, right? She's the secret here, but it's funny too. Usually those opposites are like the perfect couple because when she gets out of control, I'm like, hey, girl, come on, calm down, right? And when I'm ready to strangle somebody, she's like, hey, knucklehead, stop being like that. So it works out good.
It does.
John Schmidt says the football gods gave us this division so we could be tested by fire on our way to the trophy. I like that mindset. It's fun, man, when the NFC North is good, guys. And they are on fire right now. By the way, I don't know if you guys and gals seen it, but that Aiden Hutchinson injury, whoo-wee, man. That was tough to watch. I wish I hadn't seen it. Listen, it's a division opponent, and that's going to really, really hurt the Lions who were looking. I mean, you've seen what they did to Dallas, but you don't wish that on anyone, any kind of injury. But that's like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. That's almost like career threatening. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah. And life threatening in some cases with the different, veins and arteries in your leg.
Yeah, right. That's why they got him into surgery immediately. That's serious. And yeah, you look ahead to well, yeah, he's done for the year. You know, us as fans were like, oh, he's done for the year. Impact to Detroit's defense, you know? And it's like, yeah, those things are true, but it's like, what about next year? You know, what about going forward? What about him in his personal life, walking around, even being able to, we saw what Eric Stokes was in a wheelchair last year, for crying out loud.
I forgot all about that. You're right.
And to see this man playing football again it's amazing. And it's like, yeah, man, your heart goes out to these guys, you know, division rival or not. And trust you me, I am not a Detroit Lions fan. Okay. But hey, you gotta, if you see it, you gotta say it. Aiden Hutchinson is you know, a premier player in this league, and you hate to see a guy go down like that, especially on that play. You know, it was kind of just a fluke thing. You know, bodies are crashing into each other. His leg kind of just, you know, swung out wrong, and it's tough, man. Part of the game, but you know, your thoughts and prayers go out to him for sure.
Definitely. As we get ready to wrap up hour one here, just want to drop this news here. Bill Huber tweeted out, LaFleur says he doesn't think Dontavion Wicks' shoulder injury is a long-term concern. They'll give him the week. So sounds like he will not go on IR. That's great news. He made the play there. It didn't make chalk talk, but I don't know if you guys remember the yak that he got underneath play. I think it was on third down where he picked up the first down underneath. Really, really nice play there for Tay Wicks. I believe
great blocking too in the run game.
Oh yeah, always, man, always. So that's going to do it for hour one. For those of you listening on the pod, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll see you on the other side for hour two. All right. So let's shift gears now and talk about some of the stuff that happened in the game here. First of all, check this out. Packers tweeted this out. Total takeaways. Green Bay 17 takeaways. They got 9 interceptions, 8 fumble recoveries. Lead the NFL right now. And we're in week 6. This is the difference between the Jeff Hafley and the Joe Barry defense. The emphasis on playing the ball, right? Taking the ball away. It's the most important statistic as a team outside of points that you can have. It really is. If you win the turnover battle, your chances of winning that game go through the freaking roof. But here's what I love, the little backstory about this picture. You see them all doing the Strap City, right? And the Jair celebration. What you see in his pictures, Carl Brooks looks like it's first time he's done it. He might have some Caucasian in him. He doesn't look like looks like he might be one of my cousins. But he don't know what he's doing. But you see Key back there. You see Ja, Edgerrin Cooper, Javon Bullard, and Eric Wilson, right? Who you don't see in there is the guy who caused the fumble, which was Evan Williams. And here's what's crazy. Did you guys see the video of Jair going to him on the sideline and kind of jumping onto him?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, I saw him going over to him. I didn't see. Did he say something? Or
he went over to him. Evan forced the fumble. They grabbed it, ran all the way down and celebrated. Evan went straight to the sideline, sat on the bench. And Ja came up to him and was like, hey, bro, listen, you gotta go with us next time. You can't sit here like this. But think about Romeo Doubs. And again, I dug it. I'm telling you, like when I seen Evan Williams do that, fired me up. That's that Barry Sanders approach. Like, hey, look, this is normal. We're going to keep doing this, right? Mm-hmm. We don't, act like you've been there, that whole thing. But yeah, the takeaways are just absolutely awesome, no doubt about it. Let's talk about the highest graded players of the week, then we'll dive into all the grades. So PFF Packers tweeted this out on Twitter. The highest graded Packers in week 6 versus the Cardinals. Number 1, Evan Williams, 93.3. Number 2, Carl Brooks, 93.0. Number 3, Zach Tom, 88.1. Number 4, Ben Sims.
Here's the guy.
There it is. 83.8. Ben Sims, my boy. I'm a Ben Sims closet fan, man. I'm gonna have to go get his jersey, which means I gotta pay extra for a custom jersey and have it put together because you ain't gonna find one of those in the pro shop. Rashawn Gary, 81.7. So you're seeing Rashawn start to put it together. Again, had several different plays, a couple run stops. I think he had 2 or 3 pressures in that game as well. We showed the one where if you watch that play too, where he came across the field, you could tell he's rushing the tackle, a little move. He's not trying to take the edge. He's not trying to go inside. He is keeping an eye on Kyler Murray. Once Kyler flushed to the opposite side, his responsibility is gone now. Let's go eat. Let's go get him. That's just a phenomenal play. What do you guys think about that, Emilio? What do you think about these top 5 players here, man? Evan Williams, that's absolutely wild, dude.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, 2 dudes that weren't on the team. I mean, with Evan Williams not being on the team last year, Ben Sims not getting a lot of playing time showed up. We needed that offensive production, especially with Tuck not grading out great, but our offense kept moving. Jordan Love put 4 tutters on there, and we have a wide receiver core that we can rotate no matter who's out there. So if someone's having a bad day, we can rely on someone else. And I'm happy that the D-line cranked it up. We don't hear all the hate this week. So that'll cool down for this week. And I'm sure the next time that they think the D-line's bad, that'll be the next problem. But they're playing as a team. I mean, you can only do so much from your one position. You can't expect Rashawn Gary to go cover the dude Jair's on and Ja come in and, beat the pass rush every day. Everyone's got to do their 111th to make this team go. And I think them doing their 111th is contributing to all those turnovers, which is beautiful to see.
Yep.
Tim, what about you, bro? Anything you want to add to that?
Carl Brooks, man. Carl Brooks. I love to see it. This and like right on freaking time as we lose Devontae Wyatt, who was coming on strong in his own right. Devontae Wyatt was playing some of his best ball when he went down with the injury. And this is what we talk about with next man up. You saw Carl Brooks step up. He impacted this game. I mean, 93 grade, like not out of nowhere. We've always seen the high ceiling with Carl Brooks. We've had our eye on him these last couple of years, but to see him step up in a big way, that really jumped off the chart to me. And then, of course, Zach Tom, what can you say, man? That guy's about to get a massive payday when the contract negotiations start for him. We're no stranger to paying tackles big money in Green Bay. You guys remember Big Dave, so it won't be a problem to get Zach Tom some paper because he's worth every cent, I think, going forward. But just proud of this team, really am.
Definitely. All right, and before we dive into the details of all the PFF grades, I want to throw this up. Quick update: pressures on the team for the Green Bay Packers. Rashawn Gary still leads the Green Bay Packers this year with 16 pressures. Kenny Clark is now second with 13. Preston Smith third with 10. TJ Slayton's got 10. Devontae Wyatt's got 10 after missing, 2 games now, which is pretty wild to think about. Carl Brooks is now up to 8. LVM was 7. Kingsley Naibari was 6, and on there. Edgerrin Cooper's got 3. Of course, he's hit home with a sack and a half there. So, pretty cool to see how the pressures are kind of starting to stack up. And listen, these aren't crazy numbers, but again, if you watch the tape, you understand why the sacks and the pressures aren't there. It's how they're rushing the quarterback. You could tell it's all a part of the game plan to keep these guys contained in the pocket, or when they do rush outside of the pocket, you've seen Kyler Murray throw it away, incomplete, get pushed out of bounds for a gain of a yard or maybe 2. That's the way you want to approach it, man. Last year we did it the opposite way, guys. We pinned our ears back. We got a bunch of pressures, and you didn't see us winning these games, right? You didn't see us getting the turnovers, right? If you're just so random. If you just pin your ears back and go after the quarterback and you're not marrying that up with the coverage, then you can't be pissed off when you're not getting turnovers, because that's playing totally the opposite.
What did Matt say in his video right there? Complementary football. That's all we got to play. We'll be able to help each other, help this team win. And they're doing it. They're buying in.
No doubt. No doubt about it. All right, let's get into the PFF grades here. So I'm going to go full screen so we can see this a little bit better. I always like to kind of see where the Packers are overall as a team. Right now they're sitting as the 19th highest graded team in the league at 72.1. All right. And then if we go offensive grade, they are in the 16th spot at 72.4. All right. Passing grade is down quite a bit. This is what's wild. Like, they're 16th, I guess, overall, but it is a 65.2. Pass blocking, however, the Green Bay Packers lead the league with an 81.4 pass blocking grade as a team. Receiving grade, people in the pod are going, why are y'all laughing? Every time we read one of these off, Tim is flashing up the Tupac LaFleur screenshot. So that's what's going on there. We apologize for being so professional. 18th in receiving grade at 68.6. All right. Running grade, the Green Bay Packers are second now with a 90.5. Now,
let's go. You can't tell me Tupac LaFleur ain't listening to our podcast. Look at that.
Tim,
thanks for running the ball, Maddie. I love it.
That guy, if he's listening to this podcast, he's going to be out of a job real quick. I promise you that. So let's see. One thing I want to point out, everybody keeps talking about Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is still better than Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones is right. And listen, I'm a big Jonesy fan, not with Minnesota, obviously, but where's their running grade at? Let's climb down here. Do you guys see it yet? I still don't see it. Oh, here it is. They're 21st in running grade. All right. I'm just saying. It doesn't mean they're a bad running team, but a 90.5 is unheard of. We are tied for the league lead in running grade. So really, really happy with that. Run blocking, that's always been kind of the Achilles heel of the Packers grading here through PFF. They are a 55.8. They're 27th in the league. That's no surprise there. Defensive grade is 16th at a 66.6. Run defense grade, probably the weakest spot of this defense. They are 23rd at a 56.1. Tackle grade, this is huge right here. You guys remember last year we were absolute cheeks tackling the ball carrier. This year the Packers are 9th in the league with a 58.1. All right, so they are a top 10 tackling team according to PFF. And again, the highest tackle grade, to put this in perspective, is a 73.6.
I think that's indicative of the staff changes that were made when Hafley brought these guys in. Coach Camp, Coach Ansley, these guys are stressing tackling, and it's showing. It really is.
Yeah. Another weak spot for the Packers this year. And again, PFF's grading the tape. They're not taking into account, okay, they're actually playing a run stunt here, or, hey, look, they're just trying to keep the quarterback in the pocket. They're simply looking at, okay, did they beat the guy in front of them, right? That's why I think these grades look so bad and why the numbers are down so far. 63.3. They're 23rd in pass rush grade. Coverage grade, they are 7th in the league with a 77. This is what Coach Haff was hired in to do, right? To be the defensive back whisperer. And it's working, boys. I'm telling you, it is working to a T. Special teams grade is in the dumps. We're 30th in the league in special teams grade. But remind me again how many kicks have been returned for touchdowns?
1.
So we've given up 1 kick return for a touchdown.
Oh, you're talking for us?
Yeah, I'm talking about for us. Yeah, that's on the league, right?
Oh, have we given up a kick return?
We haven't given up one to the best of my knowledge. So, again, when you talk about the plays that really make or break a game in special teams, I don't feel like our special teams is winning the games for us, but they're also not losing it for us. That's all I want. We don't have to have the best special teams in the league. I'm just, like we talked about 3 years ago, man, it was rough, right? Special teams was losing games for us. So
we just said we didn't want a dumpster fire for special
exactly.
teams.
Is that too much to ask?
and that's pretty much where we are. We're, maybe in the dumpster, it's not on fire anymore. So that's a good thing.
So here are the weekly grades overall as a team. All right. Week 1 against the Eagles, 60.8. Week 2 against the Colts, 68.4. Week 3 against the Titans, 71.1. Week 4 against the Vikings, 64.7. Week 5 against the Rams, 65.1. And then yesterday against the Arizona Cardinals, 74.0. That's our highest graded team grade of the year overall. Pretty cool stuff. When you talk about what they did really well, coverage grade as a team yesterday, 87.0. Absolutely phenomenal. That's right, Coach Haff. You are the man.
Absolutely. You saw him in the box, Tim. You saw him up there just.
He had that Red Bull. You see, he had that big old can of Red Bull. He was tuned up. I loved it. Yep. I loved it.
Tuned up. All right. So here are your offensive grades. All right. We talked about some of the highest graded players. Zach Tom leading the way at 88.1. Ben Sims on 28 snaps. All right. 28 snaps, 18 run blocking snaps, 9 passing play snaps, and he was pass blocking on 1 specific play. His grade at 83.8, boys, I'm telling you. I don't know how the rights of his contract fall into place. Whether or not we've got him as exclusive rights free agent, we can dig into that as we get closer to the offseason. I hate to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. Ben's, and this isn't just because of one game. I'm talking about collectively when he's on the field, he does not mess up assignments, and he makes plays when he needs to make plays. Like that catch he made from that Jordan Love pass that was low. It was piss pouring in the rain. Love had pressure in his face. He shorthands the throw. Ben Sims reaches down at his ankles, grabs it, didn't miss stride, didn't miss a beat. I think we all know Luke Musgrave is probably falling down as he catches that ball, right? Sure. He ended up taking it for 23
if he
years.
catches that ball.
Exactly. And I'm not trying to dog Luke Musgrave. He's still a young player. I think Ben Sims is better than Musgrave.
Here's the guy.
And it doesn't mean Musgrave can't blow by him like he's nailed down in the near future. But right now, I don't have a problem with Ben Sims playing tight end. I really don't, man. I'm digging it. Am I being a fanboy here, Emilio? Do you see it the same way with Ben Sims? I think he's playing good ball, man.
I think he is, and it's a perfect combo with Tucker. I think that they complement each other really nicely. And he's more of a multifunction tight end, and like you said, he's assignment sure. Good hands. He showed it last game.
How about these hands?
Thank you. And he honestly, the only thing I'd like to see a little work on is the run blocking, but 54 is not terrible, right? It's a little bit less, maybe misstep, got turned or something, but we need that in this team. We expect everyone to be able to block. He's doing well in the past game. Just keep it up.
Yep. No block, no rock.
Thank you, sir. Fred McFarley in the chat says Sims is our fastest 40 tight end. I didn't realize that. That's wild. And there was something else in here too. What was the other? Oh, and he blocks. Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
I mean, look at the fullback though.
Right. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, you're right, man. Andrew.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Only had 7 snaps, 5 run blocking snaps, and a couple pass plays. But yeah, 79.8, man. That's
and then an 87.8 on run blocking. I might need to go back and watch those and see what happened.
We might pull those up for sure. That's going to be last. Let's see. We had Carly dropping in here. She says, I'm starting a new job tonight, guys. I got to head out and help more new baby Packer fans enter the world. Happy Victory Monday and have a great night. Carly out there doing she's on the recruiting trail right now, man. I guess delivering babies. Is that what's going on there?
That's what it sounds like.
Either that or she's never mind. Emilio thinks I still say something inappropriate, but man, you got to be careful in 2024. I was going to make a joke, man. Maybe she's going rescuing babies. I don't know. We don't.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Greta. Calm down. Wouldn't it be something if we just look up and all of a sudden one day we realize Carly Ray was like special forces or something, right? She's going overseas doing heroic stuff, wasting her time in here talking Packers with us. Hilarious. All right, we got super chat. Dennis Shook, serious question. Dennis, there is no serious questions from you, bro. And of course, there's not right here. What? Rock fix? Is he saying can Rock fix those fingers? Is that what he's saying there?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with can Rocks fix those fingers?
Dennis Shook's in the bottle tonight. We appreciate you, buddy. He probably could fix those fingers, but I'm glad he don't because we wouldn't have our famous wheel, right?
Right.
You got to be able to spin that wheel for the giveaway. So anyway, see, this is how we get off the rails. Thanks for the super chat, Dennis, but you're the reason this show sucks. Okay.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
All right. So Andrew Beck, 79.8, Josh Jacobs, 74.2. Pass blocking still a problem for Josh Jacobs. As you can see there, 27.7. All right. Dennis Shook said, can't Rock fix those fingers? I'm sure he can, Dennis, but I'm glad he doesn't. Again, thank you for the super chat, sir.
I think he was asked about that years ago, and he wears that jacked up hand like a badge of honor from his playing days. So shout out to the Rock.
It's like, Rock, can't you fix that finger, bro?
No, I got caught in too many face masks, I would guess.
He came back like this.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
All right. Next on the list, Jordan Love, 72.1. Not a bad day at the office there.
Here's the guy.
Emmanuel Wilson, 72.0. Sean Ryan, 40 snaps, 71.6. Guys, that's 3 games in a row, right? I got to do this. Hopefully I don't lose my place. So it's not 3 games in a row. I just lied to you guys. So week 3 against the Titans, 71.3. Week 4, 66. Last week was kind of a struggle, 53.3, but bounced right back to a 71.6 this week, 85.4. Run blocking grade. So did he play his snaps at right guard, Emilio? Is that what you've seen?
85.4 pass blocking grade. But he did play right at the beginning. Then him and Jordan kind of flip-flopped during the game a little. And then when Elton went out, he went to left. Is how I remember it.
So he did go. That's what I was thinking, that he went left.
He did when Elton went to center. I was kind of talking about that last night. I didn't think he looked extremely good at the left guard position, but Sean Ryan, though, definitely another work in progress that is progressing, right? We've seen consistent numbers from him these past few weeks.
Here's what's crazy. Like his run blocking grades is 65.1, his pass blocking 85.4. He had a penalty. If he didn't have that penalty, he's probably close to 80 PFF grade.
Yeah. Which is insane. That's like insane high grade for him.
Absolutely.
And he talked about it, I think, in his interview one time. He was saying, I just want to be ready, if I can at all three positions if possible. And we called on him to be right guard and left guard that day. We didn't need him at center. They felt better at Elton sliding over. Cool. Yep. I was happy with it.
I think Sean Ryan's really coming into his own as a pro. He had obviously the rookie season debacle and everything, and then kind of the setbacks and stuff, inconsistencies. But, the way he ended last season, and then, he had a pretty decent camp this year, and he's playing well for us on that O-line, and we need it right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Christian Watson, 70.1 PFF grade. Chris Brooks, 10 snaps, 68.5. Romeo Doubs, 67.8. Tavion Wicks, only 10 snaps, 67.4. So
thank goodness it's nothing IR worthy for Tay Wicks. I'm glad that he's not going to injured reserve.
Mm-hmm. And we're blessed that we have the wide receiver room that we do, that they can all rotate in. Malik Heath can step up and he'll get more burn this week, and that'll be it,
Absolutely.
All right, defensive side of the ball. Y'all ready to have some fun here?
That ain't no problem.
Check this out.
That ain't no problem.
Evan Williams, only 38 snaps, 93.3. His coverage grade, 91.2. Tackle grade, 80.3.
I got to hit this drop.
Here's the guy.
Run defense grade, 65.9. He makes chalk talk at least 2 times tomorrow. And, dude, I can't think of the last time we've seen a rookie defensive player have this kind of impact. Can you guys, think, rookie year, defensive player, who's the first person that comes to mind that you go, I think they probably made a similar impact? I know who comes to mind for me, and I'm not going to say it until you guys answer here. Does anybody come to mind?
No.
Not really.
The one for me is Nick Collins.
Yeah. Nick would be a good one.
He was that, and here's the thing. When we took Javon Bullard and I talked about his college tape, I'm like, he kind of reminds me of Nick Collins. The build, the way he attacks the run, he can also cover. We struggled in coverage since he got to the league, obviously. Evan Williams is probably that dude, man. That's crazy, 93.3. It really is. Second on the list, Carl Brooks, 93.0.
Here's the guy.
Oh, and we drop him into coverage, and he just absolutely a 94.6.
We're going to put him out wide next week. Rashawn Gary, 81.7. His run defense grade, 76.6. Tackle grade, 73. Pass rush grade, 70.2. Just a solid day at the office there for Rashawn Gary. Edgerrin Cooper, 38 snaps, 81.0 PFF grade. Run defense, 71.5. Tackle grade, 81.6. Coverage grade, 75.8. We showed you guys that Tampa 2 look where he covered the 3, the tight end, the Y3 down the seam. I think we got us a dog in Cooper. I'm so excited about it. Jair Alexander, 70.7 PFF grade. Run defensive tackle, not that great. Coverage grade, though, 82.9, just absolutely locked down. Eric Wilson, only 14 snaps, 68.7. Xavier McKinney, 66.8. Keyshawn Nixon, a 64.2. However, I think he might have had a penalty or two. Am I thinking right, guys? I know he got called for at least one penalty. There was one drive where we had 3 defensive penalties on one drive, and that led to them scoring. That was one of my negative notes that we didn't get to last night because we wanted to keep things kind of positive. But, Jair had a penalty, the unnecessary roughness. And then Keyshawn Nixon had a penalty, and then there was another penalty too, and that really is what led to them scoring before halftime. If it hadn't been for those penalties, they probably wouldn't have scored before halftime. We might be talking about only giving up 6 points in this game.
Right.
So, again, though, Keyshawn Nixon, man, 58 snaps. That tells me everything I need to know about how high Hafley thinks of Keyshawn Nixon.
K9 unlocked in this defense. It's official.
Yeah. It's such a cool name too, K9. We need a German Shepherd growling or something, don't we? Soundbite from we.
There you go.
All right. Javon Bullard, 54 snaps, 62.0 PFF grade. Not bad. Run defense grade, as usual, 65.5. Pretty solid. Corey Ballantyne got a snap. I think he had to run over and get somebody a hot dog and then get back to the bench. I don't know what that was about. I think they just spotted him on the field for a second. You guys remember I was the knucklehead saying Corey Ballantyne needs more playing time this year. Hafley did not agree.
Evan Williams did not agree.
Yeah, you got that right.
Tilted the balance of that defense for sure.
Really did. To the point where they're putting a safety in the slot from time to time.
I love it. And Keyshawn holding his own when he's asked to go on the boundary. I got to say that's a pleasant surprise. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah. So there you go. There are your defensive grades. Let's look at the special teams to kind of see who stood out there. Tyron Hopper, 86.7. Let's go. The amount of contribution you're getting from these rookies is just absolutely wild. Mm-hmm. Malik Heath, 76.9. Edgerrin Cooper, 73.3. Still played 7 snaps on specials. That's cool. Javon Bullard, 69.0. Aaron Mosby is 65. So there are your special teams grades. Anything else? Anything you guys want to add to that there as we wrap up the grade talk?
I love that Malik Heath and Edgerrin Cooper are up there on special teams. If you only get a little bit of playing time, make the most out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
You got to say it right. Defensive side of the ball, kind of a down game for the Lupinus monster there. LVN, I don't know what his grade was. I know he was down at the bottom on that list. Hopefully he can work through that. That's a guy we want to see do well because that's the future of the edge group there for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. J. Cole in the chat says, whose idea was it to put the Shannon Sharp as a drop? LOL.
That ain't no problem. Well,
I went on a stint of saying that every day. I don't know, for about 3 months. And I was like, why did we not have that as a drop?
Is that why Mandy went on vacation? She couldn't take it anymore?
Yeah, I guarantee it. Mandy went on vacation for several reasons, and every one of them have to do with me. I promise you. Like, I need a break. Let me get
and
out.
You know what she did? Before she left, there was still a note on the kitchen counter saying, Clayton, don't forget to take the trash out Monday night.
Dude,
you just reminded me. I got to do that when we get offline here.
Yeah, I guess I got to too. I'm glad y'all brung that up. She'd be mad when she got back. Yeah, she probably got the blink camera on too. Like, I'm going to go downstairs here in a little bit, grab a drink, get ready to go to bed, and that blink camera is going to light up, and I'm going to hear the speaker go, take the trash out.
And then you're going to be like,
that ain't no problem. Well,
that's exactly right. John Schmidt in the chat said, I'm guessing Wyatt should be back soon too, since they didn't put him on IR, and this is week 3. He should be back this week.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted that one. That's a great point from John. Yeah, because that's a guy I'm really excited about. We've had our eye on Devontae Wyatt these past couple of seasons, and he's slowly breaking out, right? I mean, hopefully he's back on the field soon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it would be awesome to get him back and again add some depth to that defensive line rotation. And we talked about this too. Like, you could put him on the edge if you need to. You know, right. If you're not happy with the production, you're getting an edge. We seen Carl Brooks play wide 9 a couple weeks back, remember? So kick Carl out there to wide 9, bring Devontae inside with Kenny. Kenny's struggling. Don't get me wrong. Kenny Clark is not having a good year. But it seems like every year, too, Kenny amps it up as the season goes along. Hopefully that's the case this year, too. But, yeah, you just hate to see somebody who's such a darn good leader struggle in that regard for sure. All right, let's see what else we got here real quick. Got a couple Patreon questions I want to rattle through. Appreciate everybody over there. If you guys want to join our Patreon group, just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, and that'll send you over there where you can join one of 3 tiers. And obviously, we do the giveaways out of there as well. We put everybody that's in one of those 3 tiers in the giveaway. And also, we got a really cool chat section where you can ask questions for the show, that type of stuff. So let's start off here. First things first. Fractal of God says, which NFC North team will drop off during the run to the playoffs? Man, it's tough. It's the toughest division in the NFL. It really is. If I had to pick one based off what I've seen, and I guess you got to say they won't make the playoffs, it would probably be the Bears because they played such a weak schedule, although I'm sure Bear fans say the same thing about our schedule. I mean,
Bears still suck.
We have played Minnesota. Obviously, that was kind of a tough game there with them being the one of two teams that are still undefeated in the league. But that would be my pick. What about you guys?
I agree. Team most likely to choke during the playoffs, the Vikings. But yeah, definitely the Bears probably fall off during that final push. We'll see.
You got one, Emilio?
I'd have to say the Bears as well, even though I also could see us just going 4 wide in the playoffs. NFC North 4 wide.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a trip, right?
Someone will take the W for the division, and we'll get 3 in there and just battle it out in the playoffs.
Yeah, be amazing.
Nick McSwain in the Patreon group said, "Do y'all think we're at the point where Reed is too valuable for punt returns?"
Yes.
Tim says yes. Emilio?
Yes.
I liked what I saw from Keyshawn at punt return too.
Yep.
Yeah. See, to me, I don't ever think a player is too valuable. That's just my personal opinion for any aspect of the game. Like, go out there and play. You can't worry about getting hurt, all that stuff. I just don't think he's that good at punt return. For everything that Jaden Reed does well, he does not look comfortable returning punts in the NFL. Keyshawn, I'm with you, Emilio. After Jaden Reed had that fumble and they throw Keyshawn back there, when I see they say Keyshawn Nixon back to punt, I immediately, okay, we're good. Because that dude he's really smart. He's got great. He protects the ball really, really well, in my opinion. And then to see him turn it up the sideline, that made chalk talk. That was a huge play.
Did you see him giving him a little bit of crap about the kicker or the punter tackling him on that one?
Yeah, bro, where do you see it? Because it was Kobe Wooden, I think. I mean, absolutely lays out the kicker, the punter, right? And it's like, oh, Keyshawn's gone. The punter does this. What was the old video game? Do a barrel roll. What was that game? You know what I'm talking about? Crash Bandicoot, maybe?
Yeah.
Emilio said, yeah, like as if he was alive when that
I have no idea.
Yeah, I knew it. Anyway, he does a barrel roll, jumps right back up, and goes and makes the tackle. And you can see Kobe Wooden get so mad at himself, like, how did I not finish that dude off, right? But he does, man. He recovered well. Got to give props to the punter, but that should have been a tud, no doubt about it. All right, so let's see here. Damon Redwine, what a cool name. I said, can we all just agree it's time for Evan Williams and Edgerrin Cooper to not come off the field anymore? I don't want to see them splitting snaps anymore with other guys. Could not agree more. Are we all on the same page there, or does anybody disagree?
No, we're on the same page for sure. But I mean, you got to remember, guys are going to come off the field. You got to change personnel. You need fresh legs, those kind of things. But I think what his point is they need to be getting starter level snaps, right? We need to be up there on the snap counts with these guys. If anything, it just improves your rotation. You know, it's not to say that, you're going to pull guys out of the lineup, but you need to start tilting these snaps towards these talented young players that we have. So I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. All right. If you guys would take a quick second, hit that like button for us. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. And I promise you, I'm not checking DraftKings to see if we can get a good deal on a live bet here.
Checking that Yankee score, Clayton.
No, what's up? What we got?
I think we're up 3-0, man. We're doing good.
All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, next question. Who can we put at punt returner aside from Reed? Don't want to see that guy get hurt. We already kind of talked about it. Keyshawn Nixon will be, I think, everybody's pick, right?
Yeah.
No one else. Jason Tebow. I saw a guy on YouTube breaking down film of the Packers game yesterday, and he kept including people in the backfield as a part of the receiver sets. He'd say like a 3-by-1 receiver set, but the running back was one of the 3. Is that correct, or just a different way of breaking it down? It just didn't make sense to me.
3-by-1 would be the formation, though, right? So it wouldn't matter who the personnel is, right?
Well, I think he's talking about the running back being in the backfield. He was still counting.
Oh, okay. I get it.
If I understood it correct. And that was Jabin. I apologize. I think I completely botched your name there, but I have never heard of anyone including the running back as a part of that. You know, it's a quick way for the defense and the coaches to communicate with one another. Hey, all right, your assignment is to take the 3 if he goes vert, or you take the 3 hook, or you take the 3 flat, or you take the 2 hook. You know, that, and I've never, Emilio, correct me if I'm wrong, I have never heard anyone include the running back as one of them.
No, and my only thought was, unless he was trying to, say who's right or left of the center type thing, who's splitting the offense, but still you're missing an eligible receiver there. So it'd have to be 3x2 or 4x1 or something along those lines if you're trying to split it, down the center.
Yeah, got it. All right, so there's that one. Let's see, last one. Nebraska Rev says, would like to hear your thoughts on this. If it becomes impossible to remain patient with Narvi, would you ever consider bringing Anders back? I've always been of the opinion Anders Carlson is the better kicker. I still feel that way to this day. Now, you all right, Lincoln? Lincoln about knocked the computer. Yeah, I feel like Anders Carlson is the better kicker. Now, the problem last year was everyone was distraught that Anders missed the extra points, right? He's missing the extra points, and it's unacceptable. Remember, his field goal percentage wasn't as bad, but everybody was like, you got to include the extra points, though, Clayton. Okay. Well, when you include the extra points with Narvison, it doesn't look near as bad because I think he's hit every single extra point he's kicked this year, right? So now it's, well, no, it's all about field goals. It's not about – the goalposts keep moving, right? Is he a good kicker? No, he is not a good kicker. And I knew we would get the kicker talk sooner or later. Here we are. The thing that we looked up earlier today, actually, I was talking to Justin about this because Justin was the guy that texted me and said if we defended Narvison, he was going to throw his lunchbox out his window today. He did not pack a lunch, so that did not go out the window. But I threw these numbers at him, and listen, I'm not saying these are good, but this is the reality of the situation here. Okay, so he's 4 for 4. First of all, there's been 10 different kickers that have missed extra points this year. Braden Narvison is not one of those. Okay.
Yeah. You just missed one, actually. The Bills kicker shanked it left.
Yeah. So, tonight, you mean?
Yeah. Just right. Yeah. Just a minute ago.
So Narvison still hasn't missed an extra point. Okay. He is 100%, and I think he's tied for 9th in the league at 12 extra points. So with the amount of extra points. So he's hit 12 extra points, 100% there. He's 4 for 4, which is 3rd best in the league at field goals 20 to 29 yards out. Okay, so he's perfect there. He's 2 for 3 at field goals from 30 to 39 yards out. That's 16th best in the league. All right. And then here's the bad one. From 40 to 49 yards, he hasn't attempted one over 50 yards yet. But from 40 to 49 yards out, he's 4 for 7. He's made the 3rd most from that range in the league, but obviously that field goal percentage is extremely low. Many people in the league look at that 40 to 49 yard range as a chip shot for good kickers. Here's the issue. He's an undrafted free agent, and he was our 5th choice as kicker. We brought in a bunch of tryouts before we even got to him, right? He's our 5th choice as kicker. So I'm not going to sit here and try to convince myself that Narvison is a good kicker. I'm just not going to do it. So based off of the whole situation at hand, I don't look at him and go, man, this guy's horrible. If you know a better kicker, I'm all about signing him. No one can ever give me a name, though. They throw names around, but it's never like there's no statistics backing it up. McMahon, I don't even know if he signed or not. He was out of the league for a full year. I don't think anybody signed him yet. But there was years that he had bad years too. It's not like there's just this golden goose of a kicker sitting out there waiting to be signed. This should have been handled in February. And the reality of the situation is Goody, and again, it's amazing how people want to roast the kickers, but boy, they won't mention that Goody was the one who made the decision on this. I think it's pissed Matt LaFleur off. Yeah. When Matt gets asked about it, you can see he's irritated about the situation. But again, this falls at Goody's feet. You should have done this in February. In February, they thought Carlson was the guy. And then they feel like he didn't make, Rich Bisaccia said he didn't make the strides they expected. So that's why they decided to move in a different direction. They had a high grade on Narvison coming out of college. He was available, so they signed him.
Which just answers the question. That answers the question, right, Clayton? Like, they're not going to go back to Carlson.
There's too much ego there. I would be really, really, really surprised.
And we used a draft pick on Anders, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We drafted Anders Carlson. So the idea that I've even heard some fans now saying, let's trade a 5th or a 6th for a kicker. So in other words, a kicker who shall remain nameless. But let's dig the hole deeper and piss away another draft pick on a kicker. No. I just the logic isn't there. I'm with you, Clayton. Clearly, the Narv dog is not good, but he's our guy right now, and I don't see them making a move this year. I see a lot of going for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, those kind of things. Is what it is.
That's it. I mean, there's nothing else you can say to that. We decided it's him unless the roster changes tomorrow or in the future. That's it. But, right now we're going with Narv, and we just got to keep moving forward. Be happy with the extra points being made, and let's try to zero in on those field goals in practice and just keep working.
Let's keep winning 34-13, right?
It's a week-by-week league. It's a week-by-week league. Just let it happen. Right. It's gone. It's past. Romeo's thing's passed. It's gone. It's over.
Yeah. Stop being upset about the kicking game. We're 4-2. We just beat the crap out of Arizona at home. We're looking good going into the Texans game. Let's not worry about the kicker. Not right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing I noticed. You want to know what nobody's talking about? Can we talk about that? I don't know if we can pull the stats, but I didn't see any of his kicks on kickoffs making it remotely into the end zone at all. So you're talking about a kicker on kickoffs now that is kicking returnable balls to our opposing teams. And I don't know, with these new kickoff rules, I'm really hoping that one of these guys doesn't break off a return on us. I'd like to see a little more touchback action there from our kicker, but we'll see.
Donovan Schilling says 2 kickers. They'd make a good kicker together. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, have Narv Dog kick the extra points, and then Anders kicks the field goals.
Eric Sutherland said, "So the Bills are beating the Jets right now, 13-10. There's nothing on live betting worth looking at right now, Emilio. We'll comb back through it later. Get the trash taken down, then we'll check.
Yeah, right. Halftime."
Eric Sutherland says the Jets O-line is made up of 5 clones of Jason Spriggs.
Here's a guy.
That was a guy. You're right. That was a guy. All right. Yeah, Carl K., that's a good point. Cut the penalties and the kicker won't matter. There you go.
Amen.
I do think kicker is very, very important. It's just, again, I'll tell you what this is, Emilio. This is, man, I got a plus 14.5 on this bet right here, this live bet. Let's take it. All right, cool. Crap. Still losing the bet. Oh, now it's a plus 21. Let's take that. Yeah. All right, now it's up to plus 23. Let's take that. And then they end up losing by, 26, and you're out. You just you tripled down, and you're, like Tim said, you keep digging the hole deeper. I think that this won't sneak up on them in the offseason. I think they will treat the offseason and the scouting process. I'm not opposed to using a draft pick on a kicker, but you better hit. Because you might be better off just signing an undrafted free agent, But I think they will take it very, very serious this offseason because Matt LaFleur looks very irritated over it. There's no doubt. And rightfully so. Again, it's something that could have been – and there were some people saying – damn it, Dennis. There's some people – I got to stop looking at the chat. There's some people that say I don't even know where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
I'll have one of whatever Dennis is drinking in there.
You know what? Yeah, just cap the night. I think.
Here's a guy.
Oh my God. Okay, that's it, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We're gonna get out of here.
It's been fun.
No, it hasn't, Emilio. Don't lie to these people. Anything else, guys? Last parting thoughts here as we wrap up.
I got nothing. Victory Monday went well. Let's crack on for Chalk Talk Tuesday.
Yeah, Chalk Talk tomorrow. We got some really cool I'm going to comb through and grab some of the Packers that are like making waves as far as PFF grades nationwide, like league wide. It's really cool stuff. Safeties, linebackers, Jaden Reed, Zach Tom, Sean Ryan. You want a little teaser for tomorrow? Sean Ryan is the 30th highest graded guard in the entire National Football League.
Rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Tim, you got anything, bub?
Go Pack, go, baby. We're 4-2. Biggest game of the year coming up this weekend. Can't wait to get into Chalk Talk, break this victory down. We still got a few hours left of Victory Monday, so we're going to enjoy it. But all signs point to beating the Texans at home. So, yeah, go Pack, go.
It's going to be a good game, man. Going to be a lot of fun. I looked at, I think it's 72 degrees and partly cloudy is the forecast right now. As Wayne Larrabee says, it's going to be a sun-splashed afternoon at Lambeau Field. I can't wait. Dennis Shook says here in the chat, he says there's a 65% chance Mandy ain't coming back.
65%. 65%. That's what we
Probably a little bit higher than 65%.
Right.
I'm taking the over there, Dennis. All right, I'm just going to put it that way. So, all right, I'm going to go take the trash out so she doesn't come home with the papers drawn up on me. All right. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. I want to give a special shout out to all the super chats. Dennis Shook, doubling, tripling, quadrupling down tonight with super chats. We appreciate you, buddy. And Jason Y with the super chat. Good to see you in here, sir. Appreciate you hanging out with us this evening. Tim, help me out here, man.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. The show sucks.
It's good.
Go Pack Go. I don't know what are we doing with our lives.